Welcome to Tackett's House of Horsepower. It's me, Steve Tackett. And before anything, I just want to say thank you. Last night we hit 3,000 subscribers. And I know that's pretty small in the grand scheme of YouTube world, but 3,000 is pretty good. I would have never thought that we'd be still doing it and still growing. And I got to thank you guys for that. And my beautiful wife. She's the one that sets all this up, okay? I just am the weird neighbor who talks to himself in the garage. And the neighbors probably think I'm crazy. So thank you for anyone and all of you who have hit the subscribe button and turn on those notifications and stuff and watch every week. I see the same people in the comments, and really, it's awesome. I try to respond to all of you, and really, it's really cool, and thank you. And 3,000, that's not too shabby. So anyways, I got a mess to clean up today. We got a lot of parts to install, so let's get to work. So the motorcycle is buried still, crowded with boxes. This pile here is for the Swap Meet 350. The pile back there is for the turbo build. That is still in limbo in machine shop purgatory. So we're gonna continue with this mess. And let me start trying to move all this stuff. I gotta move everything out just so I can get to the engine. I gotta run up to the store. I need some silicone and some cleaning products. And I haven't driven down and dirty in a couple weeks. Since that rainstorm we got caught in. So I'm gonna run to the store, grab a few supplies, and then hopefully get some work done today. I need to start writing stuff down. Like 6 or 7 things I needed to get, but when I get to the store I forget half of them. So I need to start writing it down. I guess I'm getting old. Sarah makes me drink electrolytes. It's like salt water. Supposed to hydrate me. Anyway, so just now I'm driving down and dirty and I'm like, dude, the car runs so good. It really is a really good running car. I can't wait to have a transmission in it that I can actually bang gears in. That one, like, shifts automatically. So transmission is at the builder. Haven't heard nothing back yet. So he probably hasn't got to it yet. He said he was super backed up. But the reason I bring it up is because this week I was watching a lot of YouTube videos. I do watch other channels, and I like this channel right here. Can you see it? Hatch's Recreational Engineering. So this week they did the drive and drag events. And they got a little Nova, a little 69 Nova. And his car, I think, runs about the same as Down and Dirty. I think it would be a close race. And we're talking like low 12, high 11 range in the quarter mile. And that's not like stupid blistering fast or anything, but it just looked like a lot of fun. him and his buddy and his girl driving around in this Nova, and they got to stop at each checkpoint. The whole drive and drag event deal. And I really think Down and Dirty could do it. I think that would be super fun. If I put a little bit of work into the interior, put a back seat in and stuff, it would be a good driving car, and also put a new transmission in it that actually has a shift kit, and maybe I could probably put a different set of heads on it, because that thing's got like 72 cc combustion chamber, 180 cc intake runner, cast iron RHSs. Nothing crazy. Pretty small actually for that 383. And with the open chamber head, it keeps the compression down around like 9-1, like just under 9-1, maybe like 8-7, I think. So if I threw like a aluminum set of RHSs or something, or darts, AFRs or something, that maybe had like 64 cc combustion chambers and like 200 cc intake runner, that thing would pick up a lot of power. Put a new tranny in it, I think it'd do all right. I think it would. There's different classes. You don't have to have a 6-second car to go out and enjoy this stuff. Really, you don't. You can build a 12-second car, 11-second car, and go into different classes and have a whole lot of fun. Check out his channel, watch those videos of his little Nova. That looks so much fun, and I think it's exactly what Down and Dirty could do. Anyways, I gotta get this thing put together. I'm tired of tripping over boxes in the garage, you know what I mean? All right, I got the crankshaft out of the way so I can clean it back up, get all the debris off of it from the plastic gauge. I gotta put the rear main seal in. And I'm only gonna mention this because somebody got into my comment section. I think it was the 406 bang for the buck budget build 406 whatever video, and when I'm assembling that 406, he said, I think the quote was, you're not clever by putting the seal in offset like that. Nobody does it that way. You contact any gasket manufacturer and they'll tell you not to do it that way. So I'm like, wow, take it easy. So I'm all for the comment section. If you have a question, a comment, a concern, you want to discuss something, I'm all for it. I will talk it out, debate it out. I'll scream it out if I have to. We can talk about, whatever you want to discuss. If I do something that you think is questionable, or you do it a different way, or I did it a different way, this, that, I'm all for the comment section. There's supposed to be a camaraderie between, like, the car community is supposed to be like a, helpful community. Like, if I'm doing something wrong or you do it a different way, that's fine. We can talk about it. But when they get in the comment section and they start firing off, first of all, it's nonsense. If you go to Felpro's website, you click on, I think it's like the instructional page, you can go to the rear main seal. They'll show you step-by-step instructions with pictures of them putting the seals in 3/8 of an inch off. And right here on the back of the bag, it tells you to put the seal in 3/8 of an inch off. So I don't know where he heard that from. I mean, obviously he's either making it up or lying. I hate that. If you know something for a fact, that's different. But if you're regurgitating some crap you heard somewhere else, and you've repeated it so many times that it's become fact in your head, and you want to fire off some dumb stuff in the comments, that really, I don't like that. I don't like it. First of all, it's right here in the instructions. Like, I don't know. You're not clever. It was like, Like I guess some people just like to argue. I don't know. I don't like to argue. I can discuss it with you if you want. I can tell you why I do it the way I do it. Maybe we can call Felpro. We can get on a Zoom call with Felpro if you want, and we can talk to them and ask them why they tell you to do it. But this is the way I was taught. This is the way it's in the instructions. I put the seals in, clock them 3/8 off or so. You know, that's the way I do it. I don't know what to tell you, dude. Like, if you're gonna get in the comments, that's fine. But you better know for sure what you're talking about. Okay, the seal is in. It is offset. I put a little bit of silicone on the back side of it and in the corners. Okay. Now I'm gonna put some assembly lube, just a little dab on the bearings. Not a lot, just a little dab. Remember, I like to prime the engine with oil with my distributor. I have a cut down distributor that I drop in, and I prime the engine before I ever fire it off. So yes, assembly lube is important, of course, obviously, but it's gonna get a healthy dose of oil before we start it up. Also, I put a little bit of oil. I took my finger and dabbed some oil in, and I put the oil on the seal. You don't want the seal to be dry either. So, just like that, I coat the bearings. There you go. Now let's set the crank in here. Make sure it's got no dust or dirt on it. I blow it off. There we go. Put a little bit of lube on the top side, or bottom side, sorry. And then we'll set the bolts in here, and then we'll get ready to torque it. One more thing I like to do is put a little bit of the assembly lube on the threads, and I also put a little bit, well, a little bit, not that much, but a little right there, so that the head of the bolts, I don't want any friction. When I try to torque this, I don't want any friction on the threads or the head of the bolt. So do that, run them all down, and then we can torque them. I start off in 2 steps. I mean, you probably don't have to, but I do. I'm gonna start at 45 pounds. Start it with the middle, work your way out in a circle, and then I'll jump up to 70 pounds and repeat the process. Now I'm gonna jump up to 70. And there you go. Okay, crankshaft's in and it spins nice and smooth. No tight spots, that's what you want. Now, I got a cam, I got a timing chain set, I got a lock plate kit, and a cam button. So let's put this together next. Now we are going with a flat tappet cam, hydraulic flat tappet, which is highly not recommended these days. By now you've all heard about the cams and the flat tappets and the oil problems. But anyway, we're gonna give it a shot. This is the cam right here. Let's see, can you see it? So, pretty small, 470 lift, 108 lobe center, 221 degrees of duration at 50. So it's a little baby cam. Should be fine for a little stock 350. But first thing you gotta do is get it out of the box and clean it. Clean it, clean it, clean it. Okay, I use the lube they send with the cam, this driven stuff. I've never used it before. I've heard good things. I don't know if it's better or worse than the Esky stuff I normally use, but I know that if there's a warranty issue on the cam, the first thing they're gonna ask you is, did you use the lube we supplied? So anyway, get it up in here. I like to use the gear as a handle, put a bolt in it and use that to lift up on it, to slide it in. They make special handles and stuff, but whatever. All right, now I'm gonna put the crank gear on. I'm gonna put it on 0. We're gonna install this straight up on 0. We're not gonna go through all the hassle of degreeing this camshaft because honestly, it's a stock little motor. It's gonna be fine. Now, here's a little trick I like to do. Some people like to put their gear and their balancer and all that on with a hammer. I don't like to do that. I don't want to hit the front of the crankshaft. You don't want to be beating on the front of the crankshaft. All you're doing is causing the crankshaft to slam into the thrust bearing. So every time you hit this, you're hitting your thrust bearing. So don't do that. Go get your spacer out of your ball joint, a ball joint installation spacer. It fits right over the crankshaft, no problem, right? Then you take your harmonic balancer installation tool and use this to suck that down without having to beat on anything. So you end up with something that looks like this. Slide this guy on just like that. Now tighten her down until she stops. There you go. All the way down, and we didn't have to beat on anything. Okay, timing marks are right on 0. If it'll focus. So marks are on 0. This is the billet timing chain set from Cloy's. There's your part number, 9-3500TX9. And this one it's got the bearing in the back of it. It's billet. It's the best bang for the buck, I think. I like these. So there's that. If you want a billet double roller timing chain with the bearing inside, get that one. The locking plate, I got that separate, obviously, and the cam button, I got another part number right here. Just a cheap one from Summit. That's your cam button. Now, on a hydraulic flat tappet, or any flat tappet, that is not critical. It's not as critical as, say, a roller cam. A roller cam, you have to have it. You absolutely have to have a cam button or a locking plate, the plate behind the, with the 2 bolts that keeps the cam from walking. Now, I do it on pretty much all engines just because it's good practice, number one. Any kind of camshaft in play is going to put a lot of stress on the timing chain. It's going to cause problems with the lifters possibly. Also, it changes your ignition timing because it has a helical gear on the back of the camshaft. If the camshaft moves forward and back, it causes the distributor move, advance and retard. So if this moves a few degrees, it's going to change your timing a couple degrees. So I don't want my camshaft to move at all. So I want to make sure that my timing chain cover pushes on that little bearing and keeps everything flush all the way up to the block. And it's going to make your chain happy, and it's going to make your cam happy, and your lifters happy, and it's going to keep your ignition timing perfect. Does that make sense? I hope so. And here's why I recommend making sure that I get a good billet timing chain set with the bearing in the back and a cam button on the front, is because I also like to run high volume oil pumps, as most of you do. Now think about a high volume oil pump. If it's got 60, 80 PSI of oil pressure, think about the amount of pressure you're putting on that rod that's going up to the distributor, and the distributor is running that gear off the camshaft. And because they're shaped like this, they're trying to get away from each other, especially when you're pushing 60 or 80 pounds of pressure on that pump. This gear is trying to really fight against that gear on the camshaft. So I want to relieve that walking back and forth pressure with my timing chain set and with that bearing in the back and that cam button on the front. Especially you think about acceleration, deceleration, the shape of these gears, they're pushing away from each other. So that's how I try to combat the problem, make everything happy, make everything last a little bit longer. And also, I don't want my distributor changing on me. I don't want timing changing on me. I don't want to wear out the cam lobes or lifters or chain or any of that stuff either. So to stop some of that premature wear, spend a little extra money on your timing chain set and put a button on it. It'll help you. Hi there. It's a strange way to end the video, I guess, because
You're just going right into it.
It's been a few days. I will say this, I did continue working on the engine, and I was cleaning the pistons, and some of the rings were stuck because the engine has been sitting a while and it obviously had water in it. So some of the rings were kind of rusty, and I was trying to get them out of the piston and clean everything, and one of the rings broke, stabbed myself in the hand, and of course my hands were soaked with Simple Green, and I squealed like a girl because it hurt real bad. And then I said, you know what, I'm done for the day.
What do you call it?
That's it. So I was bleeding everywhere. Pistons, there's still a bucket in there with Simple Green still sitting on the floor.
You're still in process.
You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. So now it's Thursday, And Sarah here is like, has to edit this video tonight in order to post this tomorrow morning. So I'm in the doghouse right now.
I wouldn't say that, but I'm just...
She doesn't usually like it when I wait this long to give her a video. Anyways, so the pistons are going to get cleaned and put back in this weekend. I promise. I'll finish that up. There's also a big car show.
Yes.
That we want to go to Saturday morning. A big one. Like 1,000?
1,000, 1,500, something like that.
A big one.
Oh.
So.
Vendors, car part purchases.
Oh, and I found a guy on Marketplace that's got a back seat for a Chevelle. Down in Turdy's about to get an interior. Yeah.
Maybe.
We're going to make that thing a luxury vehicle. Anyway, what else are we going to talk about?
Any more updates? There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, so.
It's a zoo over here.
This is like the duck floating on top of the water, but underneath it's like this.
It's affecting sleep. Like it's stressful. Anyway.
It's just a lot going on.
Plans keep changing with the shop.
That doesn't help.
We're trying to do this smartly as possible to make, first of all, back up. The house in Arizona took a long time to sell, and we were making 2 mortgage payments at the same time, and that was kind of hurting us a lot every month.
Well,
and then
dipped into savings.
Then we had to drop the price to sell it, which I'm glad we did because it looks like the prices out there have continued to go down.
Yeah, good thing we sold when we did.
So
Took longer than expected, but it happened.
The amount of expenditure we have, available finances, cash flow, is not what we were planning.
Well, we also weren't planning on building a giant shop and running machinery out of it. So,
I was.
right off the bat. So we've looked into multiple different options that can finance the operations, and we were making really good progress and had some great options and I guess avenues, and then the government got shut down, so we're kind of on hold, standstill for those options and avenues, and we're trying to get it to where we can put up the building and have the equipment and lifts and a bunch of stuff, so it's not only operating for storage for our vehicles, but
basically what I need to do is
do all the work you want day one.
Reduce the size of the shop so we're not blowing the entire budget on the building, and then we don't have money for lifts and stuff to put in the building. So I think the right thing to do is maybe split this into 2 buildings, build the first building for now, and that way we can, not be broke.
I think that's always a plus, but...
So I tried to sell t-shirts, but...
We will be coming up with more designs.
I didn't sell enough.
So maybe Oliver will give us some input. Maybe we'll put Oliver and Scout on a shirt. I don't know. What do you guys think? But that is, again, one of those things that has just been kind of pushed onto the back burner because of all the other things, and my job going into Q4 is always fun and interesting. So
anyway, sorry for the long drawn out conclusion, but that's what's going on. That's the updates. I'm doing small jobs in the driveway because I'm stalling.
Because he wants his shop.
I want my shop.
Yes.
So I'm trying to stay busy as I can, trying to get content out every week, trying not to cut my hand off in the driveway.
No injuries.
Anyways,
So,
we really appreciate y'all sticking with us. it does mean a lot to us. We got big plans, but it's just taking a little longer than we thought.
Yeah. All good things come to those who wait, right?
No,
He has no patience.
that is the worst thing ever. Good things come to those who wait. Whoever says that is wrong. Good things come to those who get up off their and
Well,
get it done.
we're not just sitting here twiddling our thumbs. We're still taking action, but we're
So
in a hold pattern for something. So, but there's still a lot going on behind the scenes. We're still taking action and doing things. They're not happening.
we both
in 2
work a
days.
ridiculous amount of hours too. Like we work a lot of hours. Our day jobs are no joke. Exhausting and difficult jobs. The dogs are
Yeah.
playing over here. So that means it's time to go. Anyway,
we need to figure out dinner.
they're hungry
We gotta
too.
feed me.
Anyways, I appreciate it. Thank you all for hanging in there. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the likes and subscribes. 3,000. Did you know that?
Yeah.
We hit 3,000.
Yes. Thank you all. We celebrated with a lovely steak dinner.
I remember when we started, and it was like just getting like 1 or 2 subscribers was like, it took forever to get the first 100.
Well, and that was a big thing. We were like, if we can get to 100, then maybe this can be something. And
I was not very optimistic. I'll be dead honest with you. So anyway, I do appreciate it. You guys have made a believer out of me. She will not let it go. Like, we're doing this. We are doing this. So
we're not giving up on our dreams. It's not an option.
That's the situation. That's the updates. That's where we're at. We'll get back in the garage. Tomorrow's Friday. Saturday morning, the big car show.
Yep. Then you gotta get back to work in the garage.
And I'll be back in the garage. I'm collecting parts for Down and Dirty. The transmission's still at the transmission guy's shop. I did get a big external tranny cooler. We're gonna have to figure out a way to fit that. Because I want this thing to be able to drive and drag. Keep the transmission cool. So there's work coming. So we gotta put an interior in it. We gotta put a dynamat in that thing. Quiet it down a little bit inside. Make it bearable. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling. But thank you for hitting subscribe and like and comment and sharing and telling your friends. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you all for the support. We appreciate you all.
Till next time.
See ya.